meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There may be time for public participation as indicated by agenda item or as directed by the president. Meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent at the school corporation's central office. Meeting will be electronically recorded and will be kept on file in the superintendent's office. A copy of the audio recording will also be available on the NLCS website. Website address is www.nlcs.k12.in.us. Go ahead and call the meeting to order. Let the record reflect that Dr. Gerges is unable to attend tonight, but all the board members are present. Rise and uncover and say the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Review for approval minutes and executive session memorandum from January 6, 2022. Get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bailey makes the motion, and a second.
Second.
Mr. Bennett seconds the motion. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Thank you. Item D, persons to address the board relative to the agenda. Have any? Item E, claims and payroll since the last board meeting.
Mr. President, since the last board meeting, I'd like the board's approval to approve $4.8,072,358.43 for claims and payroll.
Get a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Bailey makes the motion, and a second. Let's call your seconds to the motion. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Thank you. Item F. Maggie.
First, just wanted to share and remind that Friday, January 28th is our second planned virtual day for students. Students will not report to school on that day, and they will be learning virtually. They will be expected to complete tasks. It's not a day off. They will be expected to complete tasks that they will have access to when they go to school on Thursday, and then turn those in by Monday when we return. During that day, the 28th, teachers in elementary and middle school will collaborate on creating systems in their buildings around PBIS, which stands for Positive Behavior Intervention and Supports. And our high school teachers will participate in trauma-informed intervention. And so we look forward to that time to collaborate and grow in professional learning, and for our students to have another opportunity to practice that in that virtual learning environment. And then I also have for your approval or approval to move forward, I've included a budget estimate for Avid. Avid is a system, and I'm trying to get all the letters, but it is presented as Avid Excel is something that we looked at the high school. It's an elective that we could offer it is very focused and intentional preparation to support students that plan to go to college. It's something that we're looking at, especially with our students that are in our early college program, just another support to provide them. But there are also pieces of the curriculum that's provided that we feel will be beneficial for all students. Study skills, how to take notes, that we'd like to incorporate in other classes. And so we would use some of our stimulus money to provide or to pay for this training. Again, this is an example of the budget. We are still in discussion with teachers and the staff to kind of finalize what our needs are and what we would like to offer. They also have some summer school programs for algebra readiness. And so I just wanted to get your approval today to move forward with that contract that would best fit the needs for our students at BNL.
Does this also assist teachers in any way?
Well, it would provide those, kind of that systematic, teachers will be a part of it, in that learning. It's really about the students, but those study skills would then benefit in other classrooms, I guess, if that means.
Well, I misinformed the board. What is the program, or what are we looking at, which obviously it's not this, but since I've started the discussion, to track student, or teachers' professional development?
Oh, performance matters, yes.
Performance matters?
Yes,
Okay.
that would assist teachers, yes.
Okay, so since we were a little confused here, so let's go
Yeah.
back a minute, because I was,
So this,
so
yeah.
is this something, are we doing this in any other way now? Or is this a
So we
totally
have-
different program?
It is a program, so we have freshman seminar, and, Mrs. Brainy teaches, freshman seminar right now, and so she's someone that has been out, but that we wanna have discussion with, and
Define that for me, please.
freshman seminar,
Yes.
it is a class that students this past year chose to be in it. In previous years, counselor recommendations from the middle school, if they are having trouble or, with grades,
Okay.
or they may be on kind of academic watch, are in freshman seminar. This, right now, she has created what she's using. This would be a scripted curriculum, or pieces of this curriculum that they could use. And then also early college, so our early college program that we received a grant for, we're on our second cohort of students that are working through that. And one of the things we're always looking to do is how do we better support those students? Students that were chosen for that cohort are students that are first generation college students and their family, and so what we want to see them successful at the end, and so we're always looking for different ways to support them, and we feel like this program would be one of those ways, really giving them those study skills. And especially with COVID, it's something that we look at, how could we take pieces of this program and really embed for all students, especially as we just look at our middle school students coming up, and then those specific kind of college going groups.
So the cost decreases each
Yes,
year?
the first year is most expensive because that's the training.
Okay.
So it's sending 8 teachers or eight staff members to training. It is obviously a teacher that would teach the elective, but it's also training other teachers so that, again, they can support, so that they know, what students are expected to do in this class. So we'd probably look at, some of our early college students, people that would have those students that would be in this elective. And that's why the cost goes down, significantly after year one.
Do we have any information as far as after, so going into year 6, if we were in bed with them and really liked it, would we be still at that same level, or would it be a possibility jumping back up to the 20?
No, it would stay at that
Okay.
kind of continuous level.
Continue on.
Unless, the only other additional cost, and that's something that we're still looking at negotiating, is if you would need to train new staff. Obviously with attrition, sometimes you need to train a new group, but,
Was it possible that those that we get trained can train others,
it's
that can train others?
it's an intensive, I think it's an
Gotcha.
intensive training. I think there's pieces, but to be able to train fully to teach the elective as a
Mhm.
whole, you would need to attend their training. I think the pieces that we want to include maybe in our advisory or things like that, we would be able to kind of use that train the trainer model for that.
So this is for all freshmen or that identified group?
So the elective would be for an identified group, but we would like to explore what pieces would be then, might be good for all freshmen. The whole elective would not be good for all freshmen, but kind of those study skill pieces, learning how to take notes, we would like to see how we could incorporate that for all freshmen.
Nothing else to do.
We have a motion, a second.
I'll second it.
Mr. Lombrick seconds the motion. Any more questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on, item G, Mrs. Winsett.
I would like to present the personnel agenda as listed for your approval.
approved. Bennett makes the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Bill Lambert seconds the motion. Questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same. Thank you.
Thank you. The one thing I would like to point out is the support retirement. Janice Neely, as of February 1st, is retiring as NLCS job coach, a CVI instructor, and she has worked with our special needs students for 36 years.
And the nice thing is she, I think, has agreed to continue to assist even by driving the bus, which is kind of a.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, it is. She's done an outstanding job for
She
many
has.
years.
Thank her on behalf of the board.
She's still a bus driver as well, too, isn't she?
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
still got the daily ride, morning and night.
Is that all, Christie?
That is all. Thank you.
Thank you. Item H. Mr. Mumble.
Mr. President, I just have a few updates this evening. One, as we begin to look at next year and evaluate, obviously, course offerings, and so much goes into all of that planning. At the middle school level, in preparations and planning for the 22-23 school year, we will provide data at February's meeting as a status update on enrollment and resource impact for all middle school students. We believe this data requires evaluation by the board before scheduling and resource planning can be completed for the next school year. We will be presenting the data to teachers and parents in the coming weeks through informational meetings, and then bring that presentation to the board at February's meeting. This will allow us to further evaluate the data as well as stakeholder concerns and perspectives. This data is pertinent to NLCS middle school, BMS, and OMS facilities and students only. It will not include data for any other NLCS facilities. I know there's some speculation with elementaries or the high school or this or that, but we will just be presenting at the February meeting information on BMS and OMS and course offerings and support. So I just wanted to inform the board of that. Next up, I have the COVID update or kind of where we are at. We have seen this week a decrease in the number of positive cases by our staff, but this week we've seen an increase in some of our student cases. Not that we are to a level that where we've been in the past. I think with all of our schools, and we're gonna continue to look and see, as you know, we have a very good graph and data and information with all of our schools, and obviously this week I've shared it with Dr. Smith and others. But try to look that if we can put our graph or have that information available on our website or something, although, you know, as things have continued to change and so much has changed, but sometimes as quickly as it goes up in one school, it quickly goes down in another school, but we're going to work on that. But the good thing is, we have monitored it, we've communicated the information, our staff numbers are decreasing, and it looks like we're hopeful that our student numbers will increase. We're about 22 students shy. We have roughly, I think 78 positives with the students, whereas historically we've been up in that right at 100 range. So and that's for all of our schools, you know, combined and put together, and that would be anybody that's recorded a positive now. So that wasn't like we had that many today. That is how many that are home. So it could have been 3 days ago, 4 days ago, you know, today included. So we'll continue to watch that. The nice thing is, by remaining open, all students have access to free breakfast and lunch every day for all of our students. All of our students have reliable Wi-Fi, and as we know, this is not the case for all of our students when they're e-learning at home. Faculty, staff, and student services like counseling and healthcare is available to all of our students when schools are open, and we provide a warm and safe environment to learn. We may need to alter some of the daily routines as situations arise due to COVID-19, but we will continue to focus on meeting the needs of our students during these challenging times. If circumstances change and we feel it is in the best interest of the students to transition to virtual learning, we will communicate that to all of those that will be impacted and give acceptable notice. And we also understand if a parent feels at any time if their child needs to be absent due to COVID or other illness, please just communicate that with your child's school. Because I know during these times, we're doing our best to meet the needs of all of our students, but who better than a parent to make that decision, and we respect that decision if they feel a student needs to be at home for any reason. So I just want to share that with you. And then, as you know, we had anticipated with our facility improvement study that we were wanting to do, that we had shared out some press releases on and was on WBIW, and we've communicated, and it has been on our website. The facility improvement assessment has been postponed until the fall of 2022 due to low application numbers. As shared in the December board meeting, the goal was to have at least 80 participants. Unfortunately, the number of applications received was less than half of that goal. Additionally, due to the current COVID-19 surge, school faculty and staff are being stretched very thin. With resources limited, the focus needs to be on supporting students and staff needs. All individuals that applied were accepted, and we hope that they will still be willing and able to participate in the fall. So it's not that it's going away, we just, I think with COVID, and just lots of other things, that we've decided it'd be best to wait until the fall, and our goal is to get those dates out by the end of this school year, and then we'll get that set for September and October. And everyone that applied, I think in our effort to be transparent, they were accepted, and hopefully maybe in the fall we will be able to get a few more individuals to participate in the study and tour our schools and collect data and some information that they can bring back and present to you, the board. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions?
The only thing I did want to, and as we move ahead, I think the possibility, just because of some conflicts in February, to move our regularly scheduled public meeting, which is the third Thursday of the month, to move, because of the conflicts we have, to have that meeting on the following Tuesday, which is February 22nd. So that would be our next regularly scheduled meeting.
Item I, persons to address the board. We move on to closing business. We have executive session at 5:15 p.m. on Thursday, February 3rd, 2022, at the NLCS Administration Building. There will be an executive session at 5:15 p.m. and a regular session at 6:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022, at the NLCS Administration Building. With that, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion second.